domain analysis model. So there are different approaches in requirement modeling. These approaches, what are the, the product will be different, the way will be different. First approach is the structured analysis. Structured analysis is all about functions. So here it considers the data and the processes, that is the functions, as different entities. They are not in a capsule like object-oriented. So data object will define their attributes and the relationships. Okay. So processes are modeled in such a manner that they will show how they transform the data. This is structured analysis, basically the functional way of programming, functional way of understanding, the structural way of understanding. And when it comes to object-oriented analysis, this is focusing on the classes. Classes will give rise to objects, and these classes, what they are going to collaborate, how they are going to be worked upon, so that the customer requirements can be fulfilled. Let me more exemplify it using the detail. Structured is the methodology is conventional way, software development life cycle, like the waterfalls, like the spirals. Object-oriented, the methodology is iterative and incremental. When we talk about focus, structured is processes. It is focusing on processes. Object-oriented focusing on the objects. When we talk about risk, in structured it is quite high. Object-oriented it is low. Reuse very less in structured, very high in object-oriented. The structured way of requirement modeling is mature and widespread. Object-oriented still emerging, but now it is also mature and widespread. When your project is well defined, these requirements are well defined, structured way of approach you can use. But when the projects are large and the requirements are ever changing, you have to use the object-oriented. So if you see the analysis design in structured, you will create analysis model as DFDs, structured English, ER analysis. And when you come to object-oriented, use case, activity, flow of events, mainly the UML diagrams. In the design, there will be different way of DB design, UI design like this. In object-oriented, there will be a proper way. There will be an architecture, there will be design classes and how we can combine the classes, eliminate the classes, split the classes, what are the components we are going to use. This is how we will go after the object-oriented. So these are the two requirement modeling approaches. The software requirement is the center point here. And when we talk about requirement modeling approaches, each element of the requirement model has to present problem from a different view, different mode, different eyes, different point of view. So basically we are just taking the software requirement and then we are making certain model. Okay. The main idea is different perspective. And these all are models being created. For example, scenario-based model. This is showing how the user interact with the system and the sequence of activity that occur, the flow of activities that occur as the software is used by certain actor or certain people. So in scenario-based, you will create use cases, use stories. In class-based element or this model, the objects, that is of course the functions, that will be manipulating these. So relationship between the classes, objects, collaboration between the classes will be shown here. For example, class diagram, collaboration diagram. When behavioral elements you are going to make, this will show how external events, external triggers change the state of the system. You will make the state diagram, sequence diagram. Flow-oriented model, it shows the data objects, how they are transformed as they flow through various system functions. You will make DFDs, that is the data flow diagrams, the data models in the flow models. So these are different way of modeling, and analysis modeling lead to the derivation of all of these or few of these modeling elements. It depends on you want to create use cases or DFDs.